Ever feel like you need to unlock the basics of something new, like right now?
Yeah, maybe for a trip or just, curiosity.
Exactly. Well, if that's you, you're in the perfect spot. Today, we're plunging right into the core of the Italian language.
And we're using your guide, Italian Conversations Second Edition, as our map.
That's the plan.
So the goal here is really to pull out those absolute fundamentals from the guide, give you a solid base to stand on.
And hopefully get you excited to maybe learn a bit more down the line.
Exactly, like getting the essential toolkit first.
Absolutely. I think we're going to uncover some really fascinating stuff about how this language actually works. I'm excited.
And I'm here to maybe add a little context, show how understanding these basics makes the whole learning process feel, well, less daunting, more rewarding, really.
Okay, let's dive right in. The absolute starting point. The Italian alphabet.
Right.
Now, it looks pretty familiar to us English speakers, doesn't it?
It really does, visually.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting, Italian actually uses fewer letters day to day.
Fewer letters. How so?
Well, you'll basically only see J, K, W, X, and Y in words that are borrowed from other languages. They aren't native Italian letters.
Ah, okay. So that simplifies things a little from the get-go.
It does. Fewer sounds tied to unique letters, in a way.
Okay, so even with the letters we do recognize, the pronunciation isn't always one-to-one with English, is it?
Not always, no. There are some key differences. The guide lays it out well. Take A, for instance.
How's that pronounced?
It's always an open ah sound, like the A in father, nice and consistent.
Right.
But then you get to C, and that's where things get a bit more interesting.
Ah, I saw this. It can be hard or soft.
Exactly, hard like the C in cat, or soft like the chi in church.
What determines that?
It's all about the vowel that follows it.
Hmm.
If C comes before an E or an I, you get that soft chi sound.
Like keys, church.
Precisely. Ki, is, A. But if it's followed by A, O, U, it stays hard, like casa, house.
Hmm.
The K sound.
Got it. And the guide really stresses how important vowels are, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Vowels are prominent. They really get their full sound. Think of ragazzo, ragazzo. You hear every single one clearly.
It does sound quite musical that way. Okay, what about the silent H?
Ah, the aka. It's fascinating. It has no sound on its own.
But it changes other sounds.
Exactly. It acts like a signal. When you put an H between a C or a G and an E or an I, it forces the C or G to keep its hard sound.
So chi is chi, but chi's key.
You've got, so chiaro, clear starts with that K sound, like cat. And same for G. Ghiaccio, ice, starts with a hard G sound, like go. The H preserves the hardness.
That is like a secret code.
Yeah.
Okay, what other unique sounds should we know about? I saw Gian.
Yes, Ian, the guide compares it to the nye in the Russian word nye. It's that sort of combined N-E-Y sound, like in stegno disdain.
Okay, dude, a bit tricky maybe. And Jill.
Gil, when it's followed by a vowel, usually sounds like the lif in the English word million. Think aglio, garlic.
Right.
It's another one of those signature Italian sounds.
And then there are the is combinations. She, she.
Yeah, those give us sounds like in sketch, scheme, shed, and sheep. Good ones to practice.
Definitely a bit of a tongue workout. And there are even subtle differences in vowels, like the O.
Yes, the guide points out O can be more closed, like in slow, or more open, like in all. The example, EO, I know, shows both.
The O closed, so open.
It's subtle, and you'll pick it up mostly by listening, but it's good to be aware of.
And we absolutely have to mention the rolled R.
Ah, the famous rolled R. Yes,
Yeah.
very characteristic. It might take some practice for some learners,
Like that.
but it definitely adds to the sound of the language. Oh, and also is and z, they each have two sounds.
Two sounds.
Yep. Is can be unvoiced, like in set, or voiced, like the z in desert. And z can be voiced, like in ziu, or unvoiced, like the is in pizza.
Pizza. Okay, that makes sense.
Again, context and listening help make these distinctions more natural over time.
Okay, that's a fantastic start on the sounds. Now, how do we start putting words together? Let's talk grammar essentials, starting with articles.
Right, articles. The little words like and that.
In Italian, the indefinite ones, a or and, are un, uno, un. Seems like more choices than English.
It is, but there's a clear logic. It depends on two things: the gender of the noun, masculine or feminine, and what letter the noun starts with.
Ah, okay. So how does that work?
Well, un is for most masculine singular nouns, but if a masculine noun starts with ziz or es plus another consonant, you use uno.
Like uno studente.
A student. Exactly. And for feminine nouns, it's usually una, but if the noun starts with a vowel, you use un, That apostrophe shows a letter dropped, making it flow better, like una amica, a female friend.
I see. So they signal gender and the starting sound. That's useful.
It's crucial because that gender and number agreement affects almost everything else in the sentence. It's fundamental.
Okay. And the definite articles, the, have even more forms. Il, lo, I, la, and le.
Yeah. Again, it all depends on gender, number, and the starting letter of the noun. Il is the standard masculine singular, but it becomes il before a vowel.
Like l'amico, the male friend.
Perfect. And remember, u, the masculine nouns starting with ziz or is plus consonant. Their definite article is lo, and the plural is yi.
Okay.
For feminine, it's la in the singular, becoming il before a vowel, and le in the plural.
Seems like a lot to remember at first.
It does, but honestly, you start seeing the patterns pretty quickly when you read or listen. It becomes more intuitive.
Right. Context helps. Okay. Next up, demonstratives. This, these, that, those. The guide gives us questo and quello.
That's right. Questo, questa, questi. Queste for this and these nearby. And quello, quelli, quelles for that and those further away.
And the big rule here is?
Agreement. Always agreement. They have to match the gender and number of the noun they point to.
So questo libro, this book, but questa case, these houses.
Exactly. Masculine, singular book, feminine, plural, houses. The demonstrative changes accordingly. It's a core principle.
Makes sense. Now, pronouns. Subject, direct object, indirect object. The guide lists them. Io, tu, lui, te, noi, voi, loro.
Mm-hmm.
And it mentions that the subject ones, I, you, he, she, etc., are often just left out.
Very often, yes. That's a key feature of Italian.
Why is that?
Because the verb ending usually tells you who's doing the action. The conjugation itself carries that information.
So if I say parlo.
The O ending already signals io, I, so just saying parlo means I speak. Adding io is often unnecessary, maybe just for emphasis, makes the language quite concise.
Clever. Okay, speaking of verbs, conjugation is clearly vital. Parlo means I speak. The guide also touches on the past tense. Uses an auxiliary verb.
Yes, the passado prossimo, the most common past tense. You need an auxiliary verb, either avere, to have, or essere, to be, plus the past participle of the main verb.
A bit like English, I have written or I am gone.
Similar concept, but the choice between avere and essere is crucial in Italian and depends on the main verb.
How do you know which one to use?
Generally, transitive verbs, verbs that take a direct object, like write something, use avere. So, ho scritto la lettera, I have written the letter.
Okay.
But intransitive verbs, often verbs of motion or state of being like go or stay, use essere. Sono andato a, I went.
Andato or andata.
Exactly. That's the other key thing with essere. The past participle has to agree in gender and number with the subject.
Agreement again.
Always. So a man says sono andato, a woman says sono andata. If we went, it's siamo andati, if men or mixed, or siamo andat, if all women.
Wow, okay. That agreement thing is everywhere. Adjectives too, right?
Absolutely. Adjectives must agree in gender and number with the noun they describe.
Usually ending in OI for masculine, AE for feminine.
That's the most common pattern. Un libro interessante, due libri interessanti. Una casa bella, due case belle.
But some end in E for both genders in the singular.
Yes, like interessante, those end in E in the plural for both genders. Un uomo interessante, una donna interessante, un mini donna interessante.
And placement. Usually after the noun.
Typically, yes. But some common ones can go before, sometimes changing the meaning slightly. Like un amico vecchio, an old friend in age, versus un vecchio amico, a long-standing friend.
Subtle. And how do we make something really adjective, like very beautiful?
Just add issimo or issima, or plural issimi, issime, to the adjective stem. Bellissimo, importantissimo. It's a very common way to form the absolute superlative.
Cas bellissime. Very beautiful houses.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's perfect.
Okay, rounding off the grammar toolkit. Prepositions and conjunctions, the little connector words.
Essential glue for sentences. The guide lists the most common ones. Prepositions like ate, by a, per for, from free, sante, con with, tra fra, between, among.
And conjunctions like o or ancha also.
Emer.
Ma, but come as, she, that, which, say, if, when the when, ne.
Neither come. Mastering these is fundamental for building more complex thoughts. You really can't make sentences without them.
Totally. Okay, grammar foundation laid. Now for the fun part. Vocabulary and phrases we can actually use. Let's start with numbers.
Always useful. The guide gives cardinals uno, due, tre, up to 30, then milestones like cento, 100, mille, 1,000, un milione, 1 million,
and ordinals. First, second, third.
primo, secondo, terzo. After tenth, decimo, you mostly add essimo or essima to the cardinal number. Undicesimo, 11th, undicesimo, 12th.
Handy suffix. And what was that word for? Umpteenth.
Ennesimo for the nth time.
Good one. Okay, measurements next. Centimeter, meter, kilometer, liter, gram, kilogram.
These are pretty straightforward, thankfully. Mostly cognates words that look and mean similar things in English and Italian. Chilogrammo, metro, easy to recognize.
Makes life easier. Directions to sopra, above, sotto, below, vicino, near, lontano, far, nord, sud, est, ovest.
Yeah, basic orientation words, super helpful if you're actually traveling.
Definitely don't want to get lost. Okay, now, for some core verbs to make basic statements. The guide lists key ones like parlare, speak, chiedere, ask, dormire, sleep, avere, have, faire, domak, volere, want, potere, cambiebo, stare, steve, go, venir, come. Really high-frequency verbs. And it gives the present tense conjugations for all the pronouns. Io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro.
Yes. Learning these present tense forms is probably the single most useful starting point for actually constructing sentences and communicating basic needs or facts.
It really feels like the engine room, doesn't it?
Absolutely. With these, you can start saying quite a lot.
So how do we ask questions with these?
Well, sometimes just raising your voice at the end of a statement inflection can work just like in English.
Okay.
But for specific information, you need interrogative words. The guide lists the main ones. Corsa, when, dove, where, come, how, chi, who.
Simple enough. Cos'è questo? What is it? Dove si trova? Io goes in letto.
Exactly. Combine those with your verbs and you're asking proper questions.
What about saying no? Negatives seem pretty key.
They are, and thankfully the basic structure is quite simple in Italian. You usually just put non directly before the verb.
Non capisco. I don't understand.
Perfect. And the guide also highlights some useful standalone negative phrases like nessun problema, no problem.
Nice. And we also get mai, never. Niente affatto, not at all.
Non ancora, not yet. Essential little negative modifiers.
Okay, moving on to social interactions.
Yeah.
Greetings and farewells.
The absolute essentials. Buongiorno, good morning, good day.
Yeah.
Buonasera, good evening.
Ciao. But that's informal, right?
Yes. Ciao is for friends, family, younger people. Salve is a good neutral greeting if you're unsure.
And for leaving.
Arrivederci is standard polite. Arrivederla is even more formal if addressing someone using lei. And ciao again for informal goodbyes. Buonanotte for good night, specifically when going to bed.
Good distinctions.
Yeah.
Which brings us to formal versus informal you. Tu and lei.
A very important concept in Italian culture. Tu is the informal singular you for people you know well. Lei is the formal singular you used with strangers, older people, people in authority. It uses the third person singular verb form.
So, come stay, how are you informal, versus come sta, how are you formal?
Precisely. And for plural you, voi is the standard informal and increasingly used as the formal tu instead of the older loro. Using the correct form shows respect.
Definitely something to pay attention to. Okay, what about general politeness, please? Thank you.
Crucial. Per favor, please. Grazie. Thank you.
And the reply to grazie.
Prego. You're welcome. Very common. Also, scusa, sitter informal, and scusi, civil.
Piacere. Nice to meet you.
Yes, or piacere di conoscere is formal, informal. Come si chiama? What's your name? Formal. Come ti chiami? Informal.
Mi chiamo. My name is Goste. What if someone's talking too fast?
Useful one. Parli più lentamente, per favore. Speak more slowly, please.
And non capisco? I don't understand. Or, if you do understand.
Capito. Understood. Got it. Or the super versatile va bene.
Va bene.
Yeah, it means, okay, all right, it's fine, that works. You'll hear it constantly.
Handy. The guide also mentions using the conditional for politeness, like, I would like.
Yes, the conditional mood. Using vorrei, I would like, instead of voglio, I want, is much more polite for requests.
Vorrei un caffè, per favore.
Exactly. Sounds much better than voglio un caffè. Also, potrei. I could I, for polite requests for permission or help. Mi potrebbe aiutare. Could you help me? Formal.
Good tip. And ecco.
Oh, ecco is great. Means here it is, here you are, there it is. Very useful when pointing things out or handing something over. Ecco il conto. Here's the bill.
Nice. Then we get into some really useful common expressions using those core verbs. Avere, essere, faire.
Yes, set phrases that are incredibly common, like ho bisogno di, I need, using avere, or c'è qualcosa da mangiare, is there something to eat, using essere.
What about faire?
Lots with fare, fare un giro, to take a walk stroll, fa freddo, it's cold referring to weather.
And constructions like sto per plus infinitive.
Meaning, I am about to. Like sto per partire, I am about to leave. Very useful for expressing immediate future plans.
Or eight plus adjective plus infinitive.
Yeah, è facile capire, it's easy to understand. È difficile, it's difficult. A common way to structure opinions about actions.
And mi sembra credo.
It seems to me, I believe. Ways to express opinions or beliefs. Mi sembra una buona idea. It seems like a good idea to me.
These seem like great shortcuts to sounding more natural.
They absolutely are. Learning these chunks really helps fluency.
The guide even includes exclamations.
Yeah, adds a bit of spice. Things like figurati, which can mean don't mention it or no problem.
Ma scherzi. Are you kidding? Bello. How beautiful. Great, magari. That's a great one, meaning if only or I wish. Or even maybe.
Auguri. Best wishes. Congratulations. Coraggio. Courage. Come on.
The duty.
Yeah.
Let's formal in common.
Che cavolo. Mild. What the heck? Stai attento. Be careful. Conte vero. How true. These little interjections really bring the language to life.
Totally. And finally, a few more basic question structures. Perché?
Why? Also, how, sometimes. Context tells you.
Quanto? How much or how many? With agreement, of course.
Of course. Quanto costa? How much does it cost? Quanti anni? Hi! How old are you? How many years do you have?
And quale? For which?
Yes. Quale libro? Which book? If it's which of these, you often use quale plus the plus pronoun quale di questi. Which of these?
Okay, that covers the core phrases and questions really well. And the guide finishes by giving a taste of practical vocabulary areas, right?
Exactly. It just briefly shows you the kinds of topics covered in more depth later in the guide. Things like
Attributes happy, tired. Physical descriptions tall, hair color. Personal info, weather, seasons, colors.
entertainment, home and furniture, time, days of the week, food and ordering.
Banking, shopping, travel and navigation. Where is this station?
Okay.
Work, tech, Wi-Fi password, health. I have a headache.
Even emergency situations. Help, police. And a couple more grammar points like the impersonal si mangia bene in Italia. One eats well in Italy, they eat well in Italy. And more expressions with avere and faire.
Like avere fame, to be hungry lit, to have hunger.
Exactly. It really demonstrates the breadth of practical topics the full guide covers to help you build on this foundation.
Right. So just to wrap up what we've covered in this deep dive, we looked at the sounds of Italian, those key pronunciation points.
The alphabet, vowels, consonants, special combinations.
Then the basic building blocks of grammar articles, pronouns, how verbs work, adjective agreement.
The real nuts and bolts needed to construct sentences.
And finally, a whole load of essential vocabulary and phrases for actually communicating greetings, questions, politeness, common expressions.
Yeah, the stuff you need to get started in real-world interactions. What the guide really does well, I think, is reveal the inherent logic within Italian.
Even with all the agreement rules.
Especially with those, they provide structure. Once you grasp these fundamentals, the more complex things start to make a lot more sense. It gives you a solid framework.
Absolutely. And our goal here was just to make that initial information feel accessible, maybe less intimidating.
And hopefully spark that interest, that curiosity for you to go explore more on your own.
Which leads us to a final thought for you, the listener.
Consider this. How can just understanding these basics, maybe how articles work, or how to form a polite request with vorrei, actually change how you might experience something? Like,